Hey, what's up everyone? So I had another video in mind originally, but I just had a shower and as you know, sometimes in the shower I have other ideas and kind of feeling more energized about just a different idea for now, and then hopefully after I make this video I will do the original video that I had in mind. So what I wanted to talk about is, you see, there's this strong tendency for us to feel like we're just not getting better, we're not improving. And it's totally natural, and um, the main reason I believe is because we adapt very quickly and we make things our new normal. So let's say, what I mean by that, I'm sure a lot of you already are going to understand what that means, but for those who don't, um, we tend to forget that, you know, we were sort of not in a, we were worse off maybe 2 weeks ago, a month ago, a year ago. And it's interesting because, if you ask yourself, would you like to go back to where you were a year ago or 2 years ago? Most of us will say no, because we've come such a long way, and deep inside we know that we are stronger. We All the things that we've experienced, are things that we don't want to let go of and like have disappear. And we're deep inside, we know that we've come a long way and we are better where we are today than where we were before. But it's the lingering, let's say, maybe it could be frustration, anger, emptiness, anxiety, depression, sadness. All those lingering bad feelings can give us this impression that we're not moving forward, when in fact we really are, which is why, journaling is so important, because you sort of can go back to, like, oh yeah, I remember these thoughts that I was having, or I remember where I was in this zone in this time period. And we can forget. It's easy to forget all the where we've come from. And in a way it's a good thing, because it keeps us pushing to keep improving. Okay? And the same is true, I see this on the mats in my gym with people training. They feel like they're not progressing, and then they feel like they hit a plateau. And the key is always, whenever you hit a plateau, to just keep moving forward and not to give up. A plateau is sort of like a test. It's like a test of, like, are you going to give up or are you going to keep going? And usually when you are patient and just continue to focus on the work, on the training, and you just keep, grinding away, what will happen after the plateau is you will hit another run and you'll improve again. This happens all the time, and for some reason, the better you get, let's say at jiu-jitsu, martial arts, or whatever, or at moving on in life, the better you get, the wiser you get, the stronger you get, the plateaus become much harder. They become longer and harder. And the plateaus are, everyone goes through them. The best athletes go through them. The best of us going through hard times go through them. And the plateaus are when you want to give up. The plateaus are when you are like, this isn't working, this isn't for me, I'm just going to give up, and I'm going to just kind of go back to how I was doing things. But as I said, like, I see them, the way I view them is like as tests. It's sort of like you've done a period of work and training, and now you're being faced with a test. And the test just wants to see, like, are you going, do you have that strength? Do you have that willpower? And when you're able to just be patient and continue to just train, continue to do the work, continue to do all the things that you know are right, then the reward at the end of it is incredible. You wind up hitting another run, and you basically take your game to another level. And I'm not just talking about jujitsu here, people. I'm talking about your emotional strength game, your mental wisdom game, your life game. You just take it to a whole new level. You become more patient around people. You become more loving, more aware. And the plateaus are very normal. They're very natural, and we're all going to face them until the day we die. It's just it's a part of the process of growing stronger, of refining yourself emotionally, mentally. It's it's all part of this process. Okay, and I believe that plateaus, in a way, are a rest period, because when we're doing a lot of work, let's say we're doing work for maybe a month or a few weeks, and then we hit this plateau of like, oh, it just feels like nothing's improving. I still feel like crap, or I'm not doing as good as I wish I was. Uh, that plateau is actually, I believe, parts of our mind or parts of us that's just resting, that's absorbing all the work that we've done for the last month. It just kind of goes into a rest mode, starts to absorb it. I learned a lot actually a few years ago from this Time magazine that was issued that was all about the science of sleep, and they interviewed all these leading doctors around the world and researchers around the world from like the top universities. And the whole issue was all about how we become strengthened during rest. How during the day you're a sponge and you're absorbing everything, but it's actually when you sleep that everything gets fully registered and becomes a part of you. And it's the same with your physical muscles, not just your mind. When you're training in the gym, you're not actually getting stronger when you're lifting weights. When you're lifting weights, you're actually tearing, you're damaging, you're tearing all the muscle tissue. And it's actually when you rest that the new torn tissues start to strengthen into the new shape, the new, stronger form that you've been working at. And it's the same thing when we're going through a breakup or a loss or depression, dealing with depression and anxiety. Every day doing our training, doing our work, and the other video that I'm going to do is totally linked into this, because it's all about, the video that I'm going to do is all about how our mind has two elements, two huge sides to it. There is the negative element that's kind of like got the negative self-talking, like, oh, you're never going to be happy again, you're never going to find someone amazing, you're never going to be successful, blah blah. And most of us are just not even aware of this. We're just kind of like being dragged by it. And while I'm on that, it's not an evil thing. It's a part of us. It's part of our fear, and I'll go into it into my next video. But embrace it, love it, accept it, be cool with it. Don't hate it. Don't try to block it. Don't villainize it. And just it's a part of you. So it's important to give it that love. Then there's the other side of our mind, which is the positive, the coach, the inner protector that we have, our defender. In most cases, I would say 90% of people, that part of our mind is extremely lazy. It's just been sitting around eating donuts for like 20, 30 years or whatever. It just, most of our life, it's just been doing nothing. It's been this negative thing that's been exercised every day, constantly, and it's super strong. So yeah, I'll go into that in my next video, but the reason I'm touching on it now is just to say that it is hard work to work on the positive. Yeah, it's like going to the gym. It's like doing push-ups, right? But the if you do little by little and it gets stronger and stronger every day, then it becomes easier. And then when it's strong, it becomes more of a habit. And it's not so much like you're going to the gym for the first time in months or years. It's kind of like you're just maintaining. You're just going to the gym, doing a few push-ups, easy, maintained that strength. But nonetheless, doing the training, doing the work, doing the daily work every day, it it takes effort, it takes time, it takes energy, and the plateaus that will come and go in phases are the rest periods that, as I was saying earlier, that we go through, and all the gains we've been making become absorbed and they become locked in, they become habit. So, don't be discouraged if you feel like you're not improving. Don't be discouraged. Don't give up. You've got to keep going. This is a lifelong journey, people. It's like brushing your teeth. I was working with someone yesterday, one of my new clients who I've been working with for the last couple of weeks, and she brought up this awesome way of looking at it, which is that it's just a part of your daily life. It's as important as brushing your teeth. You're going to brush your teeth until the day you die, right? Until the end of time, until you're around, I mean. And we take care of what we eat. We take care of our teeth. We do our bed. Again, this was another one of her examples. Was you fix your bed every day. You clean your house. The mind also requires care and attention, and we can give it that attention through the affirmations, through the positive self-talk, and exercising that coach that's in our mind that has been dormant and not been getting its exercise, little by little every day, just like I said, like a habit of brushing your teeth. And we've got to do this for the rest of our life. It's an important part of our life. So for me, giving up, I don't see that as even an option. Like, I'm going to do it regardless because I am extremely confident in the work and the training, and I know how powerful it is, and I see the results every day. Just don't be discouraged and keep going. And I want to end with this example, which was the example that inspired me to do this video instead of my original video. And the example is, you see, as an organism, we actually are a host for a lot of other microorganisms. So our body actually has a lot of bacteria within it, on our skin, and a lot of the bacteria is actually good, healthy bacteria. It helps us to fend off diseases, infections, bad bacteria. The good bacteria kills and fights the bad bacteria. And a lot of medicines and medications actually kill the good bacteria on our body. And sure, they kill the bad bacteria too. Like, let's say if you have skin infections or irritations, or let's use that as an example for this metaphor that I'm going to be throwing at you guys, which is, if you constantly keep helping yourself by taking something like a pill or cream or some sort of medication, then what happens is your body starts to adapt, and it starts to realize that, oh, hey, I don't need to create good bacteria anymore, because that bad bacteria is being killed, by something. Your body maybe doesn't know what it is. It doesn't know that you're taking a pill. It doesn't know that maybe it's antibiotics. It doesn't know that it's maybe some creams that you're using that, I train, and after I train, I spray my body with this stuff called colloidal silver, and it helps to keep, kill the bad bacteria and stuff. But when your body becomes too dependent on those things, your body loses its ability to be strong from within. Okay, and ultimately that's what self-love is. And here's the metaphor and the analogy. Bring it into your mental, your emotional way of thinking, is that when you're going through hard times and you feel like you're not moving on, sometimes it's because you are still depending on other things to get rid of the pain and the depression and the sadness, which are going to be kind of like the bad bacteria in this example. Okay, so in the case of this example, the pill or the creams that you're using could be a good example is maybe you're using Tinder or a, online dating app, and you're getting a lot of attention and you're communicating with a lot of people, and it becomes like a crutch. So you're using that as a pill to fight off the bad shit that you're feeling, but you're not allowing your body to heal and become strong fully. You see, yes, if I stop using let's say the creams or the colloidal silver, or if we don't use pills to like help heal ourselves, yes, we could wind up getting a little sicker in the short term. But what will happen is our body will be like, oh, okay, yeah, shit, we're getting sick here, so let's get strong. Let's get strong. Let's create an army of good bacteria, and then your body starts to adapt. It recognizes the threat, and it starts to create a natural, organic response. Your body basically starts to become stronger. And when it becomes stronger, it not only will kill the bacteria, and yes, it could take time. It will be longer than taking a pill, but when it finally gets strong, kills the infection, fends off the infection, then it's got a foundation of strength that's going to last for years and years and years. And if you look after that, it can last your entire life. If you keep an eye on your health, your bacterial flora within your body, on the surface of your skin, will only become stronger and stronger. And when things come, foreign invaders like bad bacteria or illnesses or what infections, your body will be so strong and it will just fend them away. So you strengthen yourself by allowing yourself to go through the hardship, through the hard times. Like, by the way, if anyone out there, is sick and has taken antibiotics for any reason, look, there's reasons why you're going to take it. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell you not to do that. I'm just trying to give you an example here of how our mind works very similarly to the body. In that, if you were going through a breakup or a hard loss or some hard times or just depression or anxiety, if you're going to be depending on things to make you feel better that come from outside of you, then you could be preventing yourself from fully strengthening and fully moving on and fully healing. So for me, for example, when I was going through my hard times and my breakup and all this, for me, I noticed that Tinder or going on dates became a bit of an external sort of crutch or a pill that I was taking to keep myself happy. And if I even the phone, like my phone, like just vibrating, the sound of it vibrating was almost like a rush. Like, oh, I'm getting attention, I'm getting that happiness. And my phone started to become like a source of happiness, like a pill, yeah? Which is okay, but be aware that if you can be strong enough to put this aside and yes, go through a little bit more hardship and pain and sadness, that your body, your mind will adjust, will become strong, and you're going to be so happy because it's going to last you longer. The Tinder, the attention from people, the whatever it is that you're doing to get, that happiness that self-esteem, that confidence, but it's from external sources. It's not naturally brewing, naturally building within you. Those things are going to be very short-lived, okay? And you're going to need a chain of them. You're going to need a constant supply of attention from people on Tinder, or a constant supply of whatever it is that you need, friends, attention, from people, support. Okay? So I'm not saying that you have to go cold turkey and cut all this stuff out and just live in a cave and like learn to be at one with yourself. I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying be aware, and you can wean yourself off of the pain and hardship and emptiness that you're going through, depression, anxiety. You can wean yourself off by surrounding yourself with better sources of attention, from good friends, from your family, from coaches at your gym, or from people who are at work who genuinely are interested in you. The key is, rather than trying to find short-term, short-lived fixes that could give you real highs, but very short-term highs, wean yourself off those things slowly, step by step, week after week. Do less of them, and more of the healthier things, more of the things that are going to give you that long-term happiness. I'm going to wrap it up by saying that when you're in this zone of like you need these quick fixes, you need the all of those things to kind of keep you happy, you will feel when someone's telling you wean yourself off it and go to the healthier sources. You're gonna respond mentally like a drug addict would respond to someone telling him or her that, hey, drop the heroin and live a more wholesome, fulfilling life. You're going to think in the same way. You're going to be like, you're going to be nodding, going, yeah, you're right. But in your mind, you're going to be like, I'm not going to do that. I need my heroin. I need my Tinder. I need my dating. I need my whatever it is. I need my attention from people. I need my drama. I need whatever it is that energizes you and makes you feel important. It makes your life more stimulated. At the end of the day, that's what they are: stimulations. Stimulants. So we're basically trying to wean ourselves off the short stimulants, the short-term ones that we need to constantly keep introducing into our life, and wean ourselves from that to the long-term. And it actually reminds me of a diet. Most humans, and I'll do this in another video, most humans are carb-based diets. And it's because of the industries, it's because of the wheat industries, it's because of the bread industries from 200, 300 years ago, that the lobbyists, that they put a lot of pressure on the governments to get people to buy their products, to buy bread, to switch from, humans originally, we like nuts, we like fats, we like oily, fatty, those things, everyone's different, but generally that's where we've come from. I love like avocados, there's nothing wrong with butter, like all these things earlier in our, maybe 100 years ago, or even not as long ago as that, started to get really bad press because of the wheat lobbyists, or the huge industries that wanted us to buy bread, buy sugar, so we humans switched from this energy source, like things like avocados or fatty meats, or vegetables that have good fats, and like I said, nuts and whole grains. We went from these foods that you would eat and they would burn slowly and give you energy for the whole day. We went from that to being sold and being convinced through propaganda and TV and advertising and just our government and whatever, to switch to bread, pizza, burgers, sweet drinks, candy, all of that kind of stuff that gives us this spike of energy that doesn't last a long time, and then we need another hit of it. Yeah, excellent business because you're going to buy and then it's going to fade away and you need to buy again rather than you eat stuff that lasts a long time. And isn't it funny that all that stuff that is so short-lived is the cheapest stuff? The more expensive stuff, like nuts, are so expensive, but they're so good, and the energy that they give you, it's good for your skin, it's good for your nervous system, it's good for your hair, it's just so healthy for you. Avocados, the same sort of thing. Salmon, so expensive, but so good. The oils, the omega-3 oils in there. Anyway, I've been holding back for the last 1.5 years since I started making videos on talking about diet and health. I just feel like there's plenty of people who talk about that online, but it's so important. But again, the reason I'm bringing it up is like an analogy of how humans, how we've all been channeled and funneled into this way of living for short-term stimulants, and weaning ourselves off it is very doable. You just have to do a little bit every day. I was on a carb-based diet until around 2009, 2007 I woke up and started changing, but by 2010, took me a couple of years, I had switched my diet from carb-based to more fat-based. Okay? And we have to do the same sort of thing with our mind. We've got to wean our mind from the short-term, highly entertaining and addictive, stimulating sources of energy to the more wholesome, long-lasting, stable sources of energy that we can get from life. And the most stable one of all is always going to be yourself. Okay? Being energized by your relationship with yourself, the love that you will give yourself, the enjoyment and peace and bliss and, just living and being with yourself. And, so that's the ultimate one of all, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can have that as your foundation and then build on top of the foundation with things like family, your work, your sports, your hobbies, your friends, anything. Entertainment, it's fine. We're going to all enjoy our life, but we just have to be careful of those spiky stimulants, where when your phone buzzes and you got a new Tinder match or you got a message from someone, you're like, yeah, So I hope this makes sense, and my next video is going to be more about the two sides of our mind and how to keep it balanced, and how the negative side of your mind isn't a bad guy. It's there to try and help us, so we've got to love it as well, but we just need to work on the positive coach within us as well. All right, so don't be discouraged if you feel like things aren't working and none of this is working for you. Remember, we tend to forget. One final example: when I was first hit with my breakup, or I couldn't breathe properly for, I would say, maybe 5 months. I just had short breath. Couldn't take deep breaths. It was just the anxiety all right. But then months after that, I would feel like, oh, I'm still not moving on. But then I would remember, oh man, remember when you couldn't breathe? So you're always going to look back. Always look back and try to remember where you were, like a week into it or a month into it. We are improving, people. We're improving. It's just part of our nature is designed for us to forget and to adapt to our new normal so that we keep improving more. All right, so to everyone out there who's been watching my videos, I just want to say thank you very much. Everyone out there seems really, really, really cool. The whole purpose of this channel, of these videos, is to share. I have learned all of this from a lot of amazing people. And sure, everyone has a unique life experience, and my life experience has been very unique, and I've learned from a bunch of unique sources, and it's kind of come into me, and I'm expressing what I have, the way that I have assimilated it and digested it, and what I believe works. So I just, I feel really grateful for being able to share and having a lot of people out there who are also cool enough to absorb and also share these things. So hopefully we can all share these basic, simple things that we should learn at school that we're not taught that will just improve our lives, okay? And I do think that there's a lot of messing around going on by our, people who are in power to try to just sell to us, to keep us suffering, to keep us enslaved. But it's up to us. We have a lot of power. We don't have to be drug addicts to, our phones, to, we don't have to live that way, okay? We don't have to be sheep. We can take control of our lives and give our minds and our bodies what's healthy for us. And yes, like I said, like trying to explain to a drug addict that, hey, you should move from this to this, they're going to be like, nah, whatever. But when you actually do it and you feel it, you'll be like, oh, I wish I did this years ago. This is real living. I am now really living. Before I was a slave. Now I'm finally free and healthy, and it's those people that are doing the greatest things in life. They have families, they have amazing businesses, they're doing interesting things. They don't care about what people think of them. They're just enjoying their life. They have their friends, their family, and we can all get to that place very easily. It's just a case of let's all continue our training, let's all keep our focus, and let's not be discouraged. And let's all support each other, share with each other, help each other. All right? And I'm going to go eat now. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.